And we're ready to face off. Unlike our two games yesterday, we have two face-off specialists in this game. Nick Rowlett for Chaos and Luke Weirman for the Outlaws. And Rowlett, second-year man out of Michigan, wins the face-off, and we're underway.
And with two face-off specialists, I'm really curious to see how these teams attack the 32. You've got to be ultra efficient in your sub-game.
Kyle Jackson, number one, the Canadian, gives way to Shane Knobloch, the rookie. Ooh, big hit already. Even to Manley to deliver the blow early and cause the turnover.
Manley announcing his presence with authority. Welcome to the league, Rook.
You know, you talk about offense in the open. Defense was never really the Outlaws' issue last year, was it?
They're tied for fourth with a hair under 12 goals per game, so they've been consistent. It's this side of the field that has just given them fits.
It's like they're bumping Newman up to cover Brendan O'Neill out of the box.
Shot was deflected.
You know, the issue with the Denver Outlaws a year ago, the lack of a quarterback behind the cage, creating offense and getting others involved.
Pass too high, that's going to be a turnover.
And that's really going to be Myers in that role. He's got a short stick. Chaos, I feel like, bump up a second pole more than any other team.
Procedure call going to go against the Chaos. So 2 possessions and 2 turnovers for them early. Here's Justin Anderson, veteran out of North Carolina. Came from the state of Nevada with the growing sport of lacrosse. Every now and then you run into an outlier. In some states like Texas and Oregon, Georgia, Florida, they're not quite as much of an outlier anymore, but Nevada still is.
Pick right. You're alone.
Myers coming upfield. That's Sawada. Pass goes awry, not deflected, so another turnover. Both these teams having a hard time getting into a rhythm offensively and getting good scoring opportunities early.
And that's not a big surprise. It would not shock me if this turns into a bit of a rock fight, given all the new offensive personnel, all the returners coming back on defense, and 2 solid goalies in net.
Yeah, I thought Sean Scanone was a bright spot a year ago at 55% on the season. He's got the defense in front of him. He's got the cover guys in Bernhardt and Giles Harris, and an off-ball presence in Mike Manley who can lay the boom. So this back line is the least of their worries.
Here's Minikis. Pass too high again.
That's 2 turnovers for Ross Scott, the rookie.
Watch out here. Terefenko gives it up. Couldn't get a good shot on goal, though. Sawada had a great look, but dropped the ball before he was able to get the shot off.
So we got more turnovers than shots unofficially from a stat standpoint.
Tell you, Bowen's a monster, 24 in white for this Carolina Chaos defense.
Yes, he is, Quint. He roams the middle of the field and will be active outside of that 2-point arc.
Another offsides violation. To the Bowen point, it's very rare for a rookie to come in and serve as the communicator organizer, and that's exactly what he did last year. That's usually a veteran type of guy.
Yeah, he had so much experience between North Carolina and Georgetown. He's a very bright young man, sees the game of lacrosse from a defensive perspective at an elite level.
O'Neill. Checked by Jared Newman. Back to O'Neill. They swing it around. Cross Ferrara, the hero on this field last year for this team with the game winner late. Bounce shot. Goes wide.
welcome to the league. Jared Newman comes over and introduces himself to O'Neal.
Yeah, you don't see O'Neal dumped very often.
You don't, but Quint, you and I covered Brennan O'Neal for so many years at Duke, and he was always the biggest guy on the field by a wide margin, it seemed. Right now he's running into these monsters in Jared Newman, who are 6'4", 6'5", and Will Bowen, and from a physical standpoint, he will not be the outlier.
It's ironic. Both these teams' rosters, top to bottom, you've got some of the biggest of the big, and then you got some little guys. Jake Pacino, Nick Grill, all shapes
Kyle
and sizes.
Jackson as well. See a lot of two-way players like Ian McKay, who you just saw with the ball in his cross, 55 in white, staying on the field, and they find him in front, and he scores.
This is outstanding ball movement. It starts with the rookie Ross Scott, who recognizes he will draw a double. And after he draws that double, the ball is moving at hyperspeed. A new look offense for Andy Towers and the Carolina Chaos. The bottom line is you still have some goal scorers like Ian McKay. I think he's tailor-made for this league because his ability to shoot. He loves the takeaway checks. He is must-see.
Luke Weirman winning the draw. Another rookie playing in this game. Literally a week ago, he was playing for Maryland for a national championship. Here's a two-point shot. Rebound, though. Stay, another save. Blaze coming out strong with a couple of big saves on this possession.
You saw Pacino try to stare down fellow alum from Albany, Blaze Reardon.
It was a beautiful cat and mouse game that he played in the substitution. Acted like he was going over the midfield line, baited his guy, and then went back on. You go back to the Outlaws draft. They needed an infusion of talent. They drafted Pacino in the second round and Weirman in the fourth. So instead of guys actually on the offensive end, different approach. Can we get more possessions? Can we get goals off faceoff? And can we get Pacino in transition? We saw a little glimpse of it on that possession.
Here's O'Neal. Powers his way to the middle of the field, but couldn't get much on that shot. Blaze gobbles it up easily. Troy Ray clears it. Let's not sleep on Ray's play here as an Albany Great Dane as well.
A lot of similarities between Pacino and Ray in terms of how they roam the middle of the field, and kudos to Scott Marr and that staff for allowing their long stick midfielders to make those types of plays, to be risk takers, to understand that when you play defense, that's your best opportunity when you have a pole like a Ray or a Pacino to trigger transition.
Knobloch's pass to Jackson goes awry. 6 turnovers early for Chaos.
You got ball. Hey, we're good. Hey, stand right. Hey, you're good. Kick. You're good.
Here's Zawada. Now back up top. Finds Graham Bundy Jr., another rookie, 7. Watch for 7 in black to fire from distance. He has an absolute cannon. Spin over to the top, too high.
Good help there by Bowen on that inside roll by Myers against the short stick Resch.
Zawada gets a step. The bouncer, though, is wide. Tracked down by Myers. It'll stay with Outlaws. Still 19 to shoot. Now it's Myers' turn. 0 for 7 shooting. That might change, though. No, it doesn't, because Blaze is in net. Stands tall. Chaos looking for early offense. McKay opts to not shoot it. Take a look at Blaze save.
Left side of your screen. This is unbelievable. Quint, when you watch him, you know goaltenders better than anyone. What separates him?
Well, that was just instinctual movement from an inside shot. He does some things that are against the grain or against the book of goaltending in terms of making saves from the mid and close range. Sometimes he'll elect not to use his stick. Instead, he'll use a blocker, a leg, a knee. that hand-eye body coordination that he has is as good as it gets in the game, and I think he is innovative in some of his stops.
Flag down. Delayed call against Denver. Here's Byrne.
The feel of this game, gentlemen, from field level, very much different to especially game 2 we covered yesterday. With goals are going to be in short supply.
Outlaw foul, number 18, 30-second technical interference.
Will Hawes will sit for 30 seconds on the call.
You're to see as this pick gets set, Hawes just shoves. Yeah, and really bailed out Chaos on that possession. They had a super late substitution
they were late in the clock.
Late in the clock.
First opportunity to see Chaos new man up with all those new pieces offensively.
Yeah, not a good power play unit a year ago. 6th in the league. And with all these new faces and the transition from the one-handed Canadian to the two-handed American style, we'll see what we're in store for.
Byrne thought about firing, instead the pass. Good look finding Jules Henningberg right on the doorstep.
Wow, that was a wicked pass by Josh Byrne. Just threads the needle, Boyle.
Yeah, they're just operating out of the 3-3. They're going to move the ball around. Byrne pumps it, frees it right here. This is the lane that he's looking at, is right here. And you can see he's splitting these two Outlaw defenders who actually have their sticks up in pretty good position. Byrne just whips it with such pace. He's able to thread that needle.
He absolutely hammers that pass. I mean, that was basically at the speed of a shot.
Byrne along with Kyle Jackson, the Canadians that have been kept on here by Chaos on this new look roster. Throw in Ty Kurtz as well, Canadian who played at Delaware in college. Look inside, goes over the top. Jules going to give chase along with Manley.
I think Jules is a unique storyline too for the Chaos in 2024. Played a lot of attack in college at Rutgers, where he's an all Big Ten performer, and then the last couple years at the Redwoods, going through the box as a midfielder. I think Henningberg is an attackman, and I think he's found a home here with the Chaos, and he could do some damage.
Speaking of damage, Sam Hanley with a full head of steam out of the box. Takes it behind the cage, though. Blaze, just a brick wall right now early in this game. Denver's 0 for 9 shootings. Hanley gives chase. They'll get a fresh 32, but they got to figure out a way to solve Blaze.
Last year, they were last in the league in shooting percentage. So bad is getting worse.
Zawada trying to come off a Hanley pick, has a little bit of room. 10 to shoot. Now back at X. Up top. Nice hitch. Blaze. Got a flag down. Let's check the marker.
Here the PA. Blaze is on fire. Yep.
Got a slash. This will be a minute.
Thank you.
Minute call.
Nice toss.
Going against Carolina. Will Bowen the guilty party, as you see Coach Towers.
That shot came from 9 yards, and Blaze caught it like they were having a catch in the backyard. It's just unbelievable.
They're lucky there was a slash there. I mean, clean saves for Blaze equals transition. He was credited with 4 assists last regular season. Oh, yeah, right in the helmet, slash. For sure.
This is the look that you want too, staring down Blaze, and you shoot it stick side eye. As Quint said, it's 2 for a buck.
Watch Bundy from range here.
That's a good call. We mentioned him earlier. Playing at Georgetown just a couple of weeks ago. Now he's playing in the PLL. That's a great look. But Blaze is there to rob him now. He can't do it this time, though. Logan Wisnowskis on the rebound is there. Outlaws on the board.
I mean, Kark, this is kind of what it takes in the first quarter for Outlaws. You need a ball to kind of bounce your way. They run a little scissors action inside. Myers finds his teammate on the doorstep with Zawada. Plays incredible save. Actually was off the pipe.
Yep.
And Wisnowski's Johnny on the spot there, just picking up the loose change and burying it. They just needed one to get the...
Open the floodgates.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be floodgates. Thank you. Thank you.
Open the trickle gates.
I like the pass though, in the cut by Zawada. It's a good pattern on the power play.
Good battle at the face-off, Dot.
Well, there's a lot of history between these two.
Yes, in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah, Weirman and Rowlett. Maryland, Weirman, Rowlett, Michigan. They've gone head-to-head a bunch in the past.
Denver trying to get 2 in a row, and they do. And it's O'Neal. No, check that, Terefenko. And I shouldn't act surprised because Terefenko can score.
This is the key for Outlaws. Get out and run. Clean saves, turnovers. Pacino, this is the dynamic that he brings to them that they've really lacked, is the transition game. He pushes in transition, draws a double team, and makes an easy pass inside. Credit Terefenko for the handle and finish. But this is why you drafted the guy. Instead of getting a guy on the offensive side, let's get somebody that can cause some havoc, get up and down, and work in transition.
Well, that's where he's at his best, playing in the gray. And when you play for Scott Marr, you have the green light to do that. When you watch Pacino on tape throughout his college career, everyone talks about his shooting. His passing is big time for a pole.
Weirman lets one fly as the horn sounds to end the first quarter. Well, the offensive woes continued from last year into this year for the Outlaws at the start. Carolina took a 2-0 lead in this game and had Chaos fans cheering. But Denver, after McKay put the Chaos on the board, fought back. It was 2-0, now it's 2-2 as we head to the second. Today, making his debut.
And Q, you know how big of a moment this is for Brennan.
It's about dreams. You know, when you're a middle schooler playing on Long Island and there's this thing called the PLL, you got a goal. And he has watched closely from afar. He's always been known as maybe the best player of his class, if not of his generation. And so today, his dream becomes reality. And now he passes that on to kids who are watching at home across the country to someday be like Brennan O'Neal.
Good ball moving from Chaos. Over to Minikas on the far side. The help comes, and he tried to get it to Kurtz, but it's a turnover.
Yeah, heady double team by Pacino on that rollback, disrupting Minikas. Chaos had some nice action there offensively. And they've got O'Neal down now at attack, playing in his natural position.
Yeah, going one-on-one with Jared Newman, who plays big, strong lefties really well. When you watch Newman over the years playing against a guy like Rambo, and he just plays that physicality game against a big lefty, him being a big, strong righty, I think he kind of just loves that type of challenge.
Frustrated there, he couldn't pick up the ground ball. That was Jack Rowlett on the far side.
I mean, for Outlaws offensively, I think there's going to be some mixing and matching with who plays attack, who plays midfield, and they're dressing 5 attackmen. So they're still kind of figuring out personnel-wise.
Bundy tried to let it rip, didn't get through. Look at this. Oh, what a beautiful catch! That finish! McKay! It started with Blaze picking up the ground ball and starting that fast break And McKay nets his second goal of the day.
You got an assist for Reardon on that one, Cotter? What do you think?
I would give him one.
Yeah, let's give him
And
one.
any
That's an
hockey fan would
assist.
definitely
That's
give
an
him
assist.
I'd give him one too, and I think the bounce pass actually, whether it was intentional or not, allowed McKay to keep his momentum and almost put him in another gear here. You watch this pass by Reardon. Right here now, McKay has to put on the afterburners to track that ball down before an Outlaw defender does. So he uses his momentum, and then the overcompensation of the defense allows him to get a free shot.
Yeah, McKay catches this in stride. He led the league in terms of scoring from a defensive personnel perspective. You know, we call Josh Courier the Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
You know, Andy Towers.
He's not the only unicorn in the league. Hey, we know about Andy Towers with the nicknames.
Right, yes.
I'm going to get you here. Guess what McKay's nickname is?
I don't know. What is it?
I heard him the other day call him Mickey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
That pass was intentional
It's crazy.
by Blaze. He threw it maybe a hair too far, and I thought McKay was going to get sent into orbit by the Outlaw defender.
He did pick up an assist on that, Blaze did, so get the assist counter moving. It won't be his last this year, that's for sure. He has 11 on his career here in the PLL. Jackson tried to turn and shoot instead. Again, frustrated with the pass as the shot clock was winding down, couldn't hit Kurtz.
Yeah, we're seeing this chaos offense, which kind of has a facelift. We're seeing them kind of struggle to find their groove right now, and that's to be expected.
11 turnovers, Cart.
That was an active sliding defense by the Outlaws. They just accelerated all the decisions and all the passes on that possession.
Right. How you good? How you good, top right?
Hey, Coach Towers, what's Ian McKay's nickname? Mickey?
Told you.
No, but
Thank you.
instead of Swiss Army knife, what does he call him?
You call him a Swiss Army knife, or what do you call him? Swiss Army machete. There we go.
That's what I was looking
great.
for.
The Swiss Army machete. We'll
That's-
hear from Coach Towers throughout the game. He's the best when you get him mic'd up throughout a game.
That's what I was looking for, the machete.
Quint not believe me about Mickey?
Right, I know. I guess
No,
not.
I wanted
Just
some clarity.
confirmation.
I wanted some clarity on the Swiss Army knife versus machete.
Well, we'll take any opportunity we can to tote to Coach Towers. Nice stop at the rebound right in front. That's way too easy. And Patrick Resch finishes it off.
Rebounds.
What teams can capitalize on transition, rebounds, power plays? Like 6-on-6 goals are going to be at a premium today. So Costabile fires one from deep. Scanoni not able to come up with it cleanly. And Resch just stays with the play here.
You know what's interesting, too, is when you watch the elite goalies, and I think Scanoni's a fabulous goalie, but the difference between Blaze Reardon is he doesn't allow those types of rebounds. Like, it's a clean save, the softer hands, and getting the rock in his stick. It's critical.
Game of runs so far today. Brief runs, 2 goal runs for each team.
You got Troy Ray here if you want him.
They found him. Ray steps in. Now he gets a better angle. Kurtz loses his footing. Hanningberg trying to track it down and does from X, but it gets knocked out of his stick. It'll be a turnover. Terefenko looks like he's a little bit banged up. Took a slash. Here's O'Neal. On the run. Now we get a flag on that one. A little bit too much from Jared Newman. Delayed call against Chaos. Ferrara finds his Westowskis on the far post.
They're not going away. A lot of new pieces.
A hold on the play, gets waved out. Good goal.
The goal is good.
And it's a heads-up play by Ferrara. Understanding the defensive rotation, Outlaws are going to spin this. Ferrara quickly attacks and he's going to go to an inside roll, freeze it right here. You're going to get Rowlett. He's kind of caught in no man's land, so he wants to slide here. The second slide has got to come from Ray down the backside. So Rowlett kind of hedges and helps. There's no second slide there. You can see Bowen trying to come from the crease, and he's pointing to Ray like, hey, that's your job to get down here. Breakdown defensively for Chaos, and Ferrara makes him pay.
And what's surprising there, too, is how much they were showing on Ferrara there. I thought that Rowlett would probably stay more closer to the pipes and allow that one-on-one defense and the confidence for the matchup there.
Weirman with the face-off violation. So Chaos with a chance here to get another one back. Jules from X got his defender hung up. Burn. One-handed shot. Scanoni was there on the pipe. Messenger. O'Neal fires it wide. Stays. A race to the ball. It stays with Outlaws. That was close.
Where the ball goes out.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree. Outlaws closest to the sideline, but the ball looked like Bowen had that track.
I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready. Slow, slow. Hey, we're good. Go. You're good. CJ. Nothing. No throwback.
Shot by Hanley as he was working the defender.
Oh, this isn't
Yeah,
good.
Blaze is
Blaze is
banged
not
up a
all
little
right.
bit, holding that left knee, it looks almost.
Blaze is not all right here.
He's got 8 saves on the day.
Wow, he's calling.
wants
Yeah,
a
he's
whistle.
calling for a whistle by
He
the
wants a
officials.
whistle. Left knee made that save look pretty easily, and maybe his foot just got stuck in
Yeah,
the
now
turf.
we're getting one. This is obviously of great concern for Andy Towers and Chaos. Austin Kaut would be the backup.
This is a brutal scene right now in terms of the complexity of this team and how it's been assembled.
Blaze is being helped off.
Yeah, lower left extremity. Austin Kaut is going to grab some of these balls and get warmed up. This is a significant
While
development.
Cout's warming up, we'll take a quick break, Q. We'll be right back. 4-3 here in the second. Carolina on top, but Andy Towers obviously concerned. His top goalie, Blaze Reardon, injured on the last play right before we went to that commercial break. So Austin Kaut has been taking some warm-up shots. The veteran from Penn State coming in goal. Let's take another look at where this injury occurred. He looks fine there. Right here when he turns to go behind the goal, it's just caught on the turf. It's obviously zero contact. Wasn't even under a great deal of stress in terms of cutting or anything like that. That first crow hop, just as he was going beyond GLE.
3-time goalie of the year, 3 straight years, 2021 league MVP. Austin Kaut has been one of those great locker room members of the team. Hasn't been asked to play much in his tenure with the Chaos. Like a backup quarterback, he is a tandem with Blaze Reardon in terms of the way they scout and they talk, and a calming presence for the KG vet.
Well, the Chaos will now rally around Kaut in net and look to their offense to put some balls in the back of the net. Minikis. Crease violation against Minnow.
It's a little bit of a gut punch if you're the Carolina Chaos when the best goalie in the league, your guy, is now in this tent here. Let's see how they react emotionally and physically. What's their spirits? What's their energy?
It's a gut punch for any lacrosse fan seeing this. I mean, Blaze Reardon is one of the most impactful players in the sport. He's beloved, and his style of play, what he means to the game right now it's huge. It's like a top quarterback in the NFL going down.
Yeah, and this crowd, many who bought tickets to this event to watch Blaze today.
Yeah, and you've got a The crowd here with a lot of Blaze fans here in Albany. There's a big hush amongst them right now. Crease violation against the Outlaws, so Kaut comes out there and finds his man in Resch to clear it. Josh Byrne. I'm sure Byrne, the veteran, understands now a little bit more of an onus put on this offense. How about McKay? How about the game this guy's had today?
The way that he catches this one, I thought he was going to catch that and shoot high. His awareness to put his stick low, Ryan, I thought was fantastic. Watch the way he receives this ball.
And it's all set up by beautiful off-ball movement. You've got the Perkovic dodge on one side, just a simple push ahead to Henningberg. And look, the left side of your screen, McKay's going to get kind of caught up in the wash. Catch low, finish low. Ultra quick release there, so Scanoni can't track that at all.
Catches it low and almost like with a flick of the wrist, stays at that level. I just thought it was a high level cut and finish.
Weirman outside of the net.
Boyle thought that was a goal.
No, I didn't.
He was
no,
on it.
I didn't. I was. No, I didn't.
He was on it. Just had one false move yesterday where
He's never going to live it down. Now.
right.
And Blaze has come out of the medical tent with
Here's Blaze.
crutches.
Oh. It's just
Not good.
It's just tough to
Crutches.
see. He's the heart and soul of this team. And now other veterans are going to have to pick up the pace. And McKay is one of those.
And I think this game, Ryan, you talked about it earlier, calling it like a rock fight. I think it has to open up for Chaos to win. And not to put too much pressure on Cal, but he walked into week one, didn't think he would be asked to win a game.
You got to be ultrasound defensively. And I think it puts a premium on your offense. Do not give up transition, right?
Yeah.
Do
But
not
that's
give
your-
up transition.
But that's your job as a backup goalie, guys. Your job, you're never going to enter the game in optimal scenario. Your goalie's either going to get hurt or he's going to be getting shredded. So mentally, you're only preparing yourself to enter a
that's a
bad
great point,
situation.
Quint.
And Austin is a veteran, and that's why I think Andy Towers trusts
he was
him.
a terrific goalie in college at Penn State, one of the best in the country. So he has a ton of skill.
Yeah, he's not phased. I mean, he's probably felt terrible just in terms of getting in the game because of what happened to Blaze. But then once you get out there, reality is set in. I've got a job to do.
Saw Scotty Marr, his college coach, the coach here at Albany, having a word with him, a word of encouragement. Scanoni makes another save. That's 3 on the day. Good ball movement from Denver outside of the cage. Open on the far side. Good ball movement, but Kurtz.
Kurtz has to be
killing
ready for that.
himself.
I thought that was a unbelievable fake shot by Josh Byrne, and then just a little touch pass to Kurtz. He's got to catch that.
Chaos have just turned the ball over like crazy.
Yeah, he knows
14.
too. You see him shaking his head down there.
I mean, Byrne has some unpredictability to his game. So, I mean, Kurtz has been in the lineup 6 games played last year, but still a learning curve for him in terms of getting used to the other personnel.
Anderson up top to Hanley. Shoots with the left and scores.
This is what we all expected when he came out last year and was a first-round draft pick. And the Outlaws need to see him ultra aggressive. I mean, he's got a short stick matchup consistently. A ton of space in the middle of the field, just one step and fire.
Yeah, I thought the backup in terms of the defensive pressure cost the Chaos on that. Sam Hanley is very two-handed. He's a natural righty. You see what he can do from the outside, stretching the defense with his offhand, but you have to be on him. You have to engage if you're playing defense from that spot.
That's a hell of a shot from his offhand.
Hammers it.
Weirman, he could shoot, and he does, but Count is on it.
But that's a good sign if you're an Outlaws fan in terms of generating instant offense off the faceoff from Weirman. He's not able to bury it, but you'd like to see more of that.
And you will. Luke Weirman, when you watch his tape at Maryland in college, he's a tremendous lacrosse player. Scored a ton of goals throughout the course of his career, but also started offense as a passer. So I think you're seeing more and more of these college-level face-off specialists. When they get to the stripe at the PLL, you're seeing a well-refined lacrosse player.
Timeout on the field. Towers wants to use his use it or lose it timeout. Talk things over with possession, a minute and a half and change left in this first half. First half that's been choppy as we expected. Back and forth. And right now it's the Chaos with a 1-point lead. Reminder, Whipsnakes and Atlas coming up next as New York gets their homecoming.
So Sergio made a kiss KJ? Is that right? Start that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Far side action, Josh stays high, bang it over, come down.
You guys know what we're doing, right? All right, here we go. Hey, we got 43 seconds.
Hey, direct or over the top against direct. Yeah.
43 seconds. Know the shot clock. Here we go, Osh on 3. 1, 2, 3, Osh.
Well, Blaze Reardon, you see he's got the ice on his left knee. He's done for the day with a left knee injury. It is something that is he's had before in his career, just from twisting. Ironically, this turf surface is going to be replaced next week. They're playing the New York State High School Championships here on, I believe, Wednesday, and then Albany's going to resurface this for the fall for football season next year. Unfortunately, Blaze has re-injured his left knee and is seriously doubtful to return to this game.
You know, Quint, I got to ask you, if you're Austin Cowd, how do you prepare yourself during half since you weren't expecting to start this game?
No, Austin is a veteran, and that's why Andy Towers has been extremely loyal to him. So he's been preparing all week. He sees a lot of rubber. At this stage in the game, Blaze doesn't take a ton of shots in practice, so Austin should be sharp. Like a backup quarterback, you prep as you would if you're a starter, studying the shooter's trends, watching your film, knowing your hands.
Sergio Perkovic on the run. He scores! Well, Towers has been touting all summer long, however long summer is.
Summer camp,
yeah,
the past week.
How good Sergio Perkovic has looked.
He has. And I think this is an opportunity for Sergio, after spending a bunch of years with the Redwoods, to pop back onto the scene as a lethal shooter. He's played some short stick D mid. He's been one of the best two-point shooters in the league, but when you watch him over the course of the last 10, 12 years, Ryan, this is what he can do. Get down the alley and shoot through pressure.
Yeah, last year with the Redwoods, Goose Eggs did not score in his 6 games. A revitalization, re-energized Perkovic, given the opportunity, and Towers really challenged him in camp, too.
Yeah.
A player can grow because of a change of scenery. Like when you transplant a plant, you know how it wilts? Well, if you give it fertilizer and you give it water, it can grow. And I think Coach Towers has been giving Perkovic a lot of positive feedback.
Says the gardener.
That's exactly
right.
right. Pumping him up with
Not all of us have the botany skills.
All good karma, kids. Exactly right.
Quint Kessenich with the tomato garden. Outlaws calling a timeout. So Coach Sudan using his use it or lose it here with under a minute. Yeah, another one of those rookies who literally just a couple of weeks ago was playing college lacrosse for Georgetown, and now he's in the PLL and an opportunity here to tie this game in the final minute of the first half. Hanley down the alley. He shoots. Couldn't get anything on it, but it'll stay with Outlaws. Now 15 to shoot.
Bowen just completely blew up that play.
Nothing doing here. Up top to Bundy. Now again to Hanley, who fires it wide.
I think they're sliding too early there. I think they need to trust the matchups, especially late in the clock.
Yeah, they were trying to support Myers on Geddes, I believe.
I think Geddes is fine on Myers.
The Chaos typically don't like to slide all that often. They'll trust their matchups.
10 seconds. Knobloch shoots and scores! The Rook.
Knobber.
Grab that one out of the cage. First professional goal, excuse me. Welcome to the league. Shane Knobloch. They touted him as a two-handed, dynamic midfielder, brings them juice, brings them speed. Gets shot out of a cannon, just a simple left to right split, drops his hands and lets it fly.
Yeah, he's got the wrists, man. If you watch him throughout the course of his career, he reminds me a lot of Mike Chanichuk in terms of just the quick wrist motion with both hands.
Yeah.
And he's a stronger body, too, than you think. He's not the tallest. There's Andy Towers loving the rookie's goal. But he's built like a fire hydrant, so he could soak a check, and he's so two-handed.
Towers, talking to him before the draft, with all the O'Neal and Sisselberger and Kavanaugh talk, he had him circled.
That was his guy.
That was my guy. That's the guy he wanted, and he got him, and it's paying off.
I actually asked Andy Towers at camp, I said, if you look at this class and where Knobloch fits in your offense, where would you draft him if you had to do it again? He goes, if he was available at 1, I would take him. He loves his guys, obviously.
A bit of hyperbole from Andy Towers.
That's what he said to me.
It would not be the first time that somebody is the best player at their position in the league, in the world. I mean, every guy on their team is the best player in the league.
They're 3 better than Denver at the half, as Carolina looks to start their 2024 campaign on a winning note, and they're halfway there. Chaos got on top early. Logan Wisnauskas and Denver fought back, but at the break, Chaos are up 3. Look at the shooting. We talked about it in the open, RB. Denver was the worst shooting team last year in the league. 4 for 25 in that first half. That's not going to get it done. So the big question that needs to be answered, and only time will tell, who for Denver will step up? Will it be Anderson? Well, there's one answer right there, because right off the face-off to start this second half, it's Justin Anderson who closes the gap.
6-on-6 is going to be an uphill battle. So if you're Denver, can you get juice off the face-off, and can you get juice in transition? A scrap between Rowlett and Weirman, and Anderson just flies in, picks up the loose ball, and before Chaos can get organized defensively, Anderson brings a ton of speed, two-way midfielder, gets shot out of a cannon. He's the actual veteran of this bunch.
Yeah, he had 4 goals in week 1 here in Albany in 2023. University of North Carolina played in championship weekend for Joe Bresci and the Heels a few years back, but he is a player that could beat you on 6-on-6 half-field sets, but also on the wing. And I think having Luke Weirman here will give them those opportunities to generate some offense off the face-off.
Offsides, though.
They're going to call an illegal procedure, apparently leaving the arc before possession had been retained. But back to the face-off, Weirman flanked by Pacino and Anderson. I like that group.
What's not to like about it?
And I would just keep them on.
Byrne lost at that time. He had a point-blank shot.
You see the stick of Pacino, the ground ball, and then the BTB.
That ball stuck in his stick so fast. Crazy handle.
Anderson again, wide this time.
But that's the recipe for Denver. Turnover into transition.
Early offense.
Yes.
You get marinating in a late shot clock, you're toast.
Pacino, Anderson, Messenger, Terrafinco.
Gentlemen, yeah, one thing in the settled sets, Timmy Sudan wants to kind of clear the alleys. So whether it's Handley or O'Neal or whoever, he wants guys to clear through it and give them clean alleys to get going downhill.
Hey, top side!
A bounce pass to Zawada near side.
So get through here. Give them real estate to run downhill.
Hanley shoots and scores. Goes 5-hole on count.
You see Count pointing to himself, that's on me. As a goaltender there and a lefty, when Hanley is in that alley area, you want to be on the pipe. And this ball sneaks by Austin Kaut near pipe.
But I like the aggressiveness by Hanley here. And sometimes as a shooter, you just need to see one go, and then the ball kind of picks up steam, picks up momentum, and the bounces just kind of go your way. On an offense that's looking for an alpha, who is the leader? Hanley has a void that he can step into and be the guy.
Look, everyone knows the potential of Sam Hanley. I mean, he was in the argument to be the first pick in the draft a season ago. I mean, he's 6'5", he's two-handed. He has vision, too. When he was at UPenn, he quarterbacked that offense from the midfield. So we're seeing the goal-scoring ability, but he's also a passer off the dodge.
And visually, it looks like he's shown up in year 2 ready to go. He looks like he's in elite condition. Sometimes
Go
that's
here,
an issue.
go.
Inside! Hands! Side right!
Zawada scores! Well, whatever Coach Sudan drew up at the half, it's working because Denver scored the first 3 in the first 2 minutes of the second half.
It looks like he's guessing low on this shot count. Ryan, watch his body language as Zawada releases the ball.
Yeah, you're gonna see beautiful ball movement here off a dodge by Hanley. You know, as Hanley goes to the cage, he draws a double team. The rotation is just late. And Zawada steps into it.
He's guessing low here, and he got caught.
You see the shooting woes we talked about at the half. Denver coming out on fire here.
Yeah, this is an offense, was dead last in goals per game at 7.9 a season ago. They've essentially caught that already.
Weirman off the face-off, probably should have shot that. Instead, tried to get it off to Zawada.
Last in assists, last in shots, last in shooting percentage, last in 2 points. I mean, the basement in almost every major offensive statistical category. And you're seeing, as Quint mentioned, the year 2 growth of a Sam Hanley. Some new pieces, obviously, with O'Neal, who will get going. But it seems like they've exceeded their expectations already.
It wasn't just basement. The difference between them scoring is between the 8th and 7th spot was the same between 7th and 1st.
Yeah, basement. What's below the basement?
Bunker, like a bunker. Trying to come out of it here, though. Remember, they won their first game last year on this very field with Cross Ferrara hitting the game winner, and then they lost the rest of their games.
Yeah, they were in a bad place at the end of the year. I mean, their last 4 or 5 games, as we see an extra flag. Matt Palem's had enough of Josh Byrne here. But they were in a real bad place offensively.
30-second technical conduct foul.
You'll never win that battle with Matt Palem. I mean, that's just Palem 1, Josh Byrne 0.
Conduct foul.
Not on a Sunday. Not on a Sunday. He's a little crabby on a hot Sunday now. This is game 3 of 4 for Matty. 56 years old, and he's still getting up and down the field like one of these middies. He is priceless. He's a gem of this league.
Denver's already scored a power play goal today.
And that's a tough spot for Chaos here. You're up a few goals, and now you're giving this young offense who's finally settling in an opportunity on the extra man to take the lead.
Good pressure.
Yeah, I like the press there. It takes them out of their flow.
Bundy. Up top to Hanley. Those two guys can shoot it. Look at that.
Yeah, get on Graham Bundy's hands. This is an absolute cannon of a shooter. He's the best rookie shooter from time and room, but behind the arc. 7 in black will make you pay.
Tough angle, too tough.
They're just late on all their passes. If Hanley just moved that one more, Bundy had a step down. Zawada late on one more. They're all trying to make the home run pass.
The extra cradle, and there was no one in the slot either. So the defense could press out.
O'Neal. Count comes out to make that save. And Ray picks up the ground ball.
They got numbers if they want it.
Let's listen in to goalie Sean Scanoni. Under the helmet, powered by Cash App as it rings off the plate.
That was a smart play by Resch, 34 in white.
You're good, you're good. Step up!
Wow, what a check. What a check by JT Giles Harris. 2022 PLL Defender of the Year. Just won that matchup with Josh Byrne.
Home! Home! Home!
Zawada had the short stick matchup, let it fire.
Yeah, Terefenko trapped Knobloch, got him involved in a pick.
One out of the box here.
O'Neal has a short stick on him right now. #1 draft pick has Sergio Perkovic, 30 in white on him at the outside. You got to demand the ball if you're Brennan O'Neal in that spot.
And Myers has got to recognize that, and instead of going one-on-one, just quickly spin the ball to exploit that matchup.
Yes, and give it to him off of ball movement, not so the entire stadium knows he's going to the goal.
Sergio down the alley. Denver shows but doesn't go. Back across the far side. Picked up by Byrne. That looks like a pass, and that's what's going to be. Out of bounds, another turnover. 18 turnovers.
Yeah, out of sync on offense in this second half.
You know, if you're a Chaos fan, the good news is it's tied 7-7, but your big knowns have not really made their presence felt. Most notably Josh Byrne, who's one of the best players in the world, 22 in white. If he gets going, I think the rest of this offense can hit new heights.
I'm shocked we haven't seen more two-man games with Jackson on that left wing to change the matchup off of Giles Harris.
O'Neal.
No way. Back up, X! Who's got him? Punch it right there, he's nothing.
Ferrara's shot. Count makes the save with a kick save.
Count's made a couple good saves back-to-back now on an O'Neal shot. And then that last one on Ferrara, he's starting to settle in.
Byrne draws the double team. Now triple team. He's in all kinds of trouble. Can he get out of it? Cannot. Now we'll get a call. Timeout. Yeah.
Put that ball in his chest.
Early timeout in the second half.
It is, but I actually think it's a good one. I do, because I think they're totally out of sync right now, their offense. This is an opportunity for Andy Towers and Matt Panetta to talk to this offense and get them into their sets.
As Andy Towers talks it over, we'll take a break. We'll be back, tied at 7 here in the third. Coming out of the timeout, Denver, Carolina, all tied at 7 apiece. The Denver Outlaws, in the year of all the homecoming here, RB, are back. You know, they were in the MLL for a long time, 3-time champions as a matter of fact, and now they're back here in the PLL.
Proud franchise. You saw John Grant Jr. Here's Eric Law with just a hair under 13 seconds, that game winner. You can see the excitement, but amazing to have the Outlaws back. You see their track record of success. Really the kind of the first Western team in the MLL to plant their flag in the ground and build something.
Do you remember their July 4th games where they get 50,000 people?
Oh, it was nothing better than making that crowd quiet.
Yeah.
25K and JoJo the War Drummer.
That was the
Nothing
game you circled. You wanted to be the visitor. You wanted that excitement, that juice.
There it is. We were talking in the break about the speed. Where's the speed? They call him Minnow. Brian Minikis with straight line blinding speed. My feet are faster than yours.
And I like the approach they took here, allowing him behind the cage to extend that dodge. You know, he flexes between attack and midfield. So they just give him a ton of space to operate, and he uses that speed and quickness to gain some leverage, gets that step up field to increase his angle.
Jules did a nice job clearing through. Saw that play before it happened and vacated.
But you'd like to see more inverts with him and Ross Scott.
Well, I think the spacing is critical, too. I thought that was the first time they really cleared out and gave the offense the right room for their speed dodgers.
O'Neal out of the box, scores!
That was slick, Carc.
Yes, it was. Get used to it. And this is what we've always wanted to see, Quint, right out of college. Maybe him coming through the box when he's so big, he's so fast, he's so strong, he's so skilled. It's like a runaway train that's coming at you, and he uses the turf there with the extended stick. How do you track that?
You can't. It's just got a ton of English on it. And what I loved about that was Messenger got the pull on him and actually kind of did a little bit of window washing, window dressing, like I'm gonna go, to keep that matchup so they could hit O'Neal with a full head of steam on a short stick.
You know what that shows me, too, is sometimes when he's not the first guy subbing, right, you can get him later in the rotation of subbing, using his speed, flying out of the box.
We're going to get a...
That's what he did for Team USA in San Diego last summer. We rarely saw it down in Koskinen this spring.
We're going to get a push with possession here. That's going to go against Chaos on that faceoff.
Chaos foul, number 73, 30-second technical push.
So Rowlett, the guilty party, off the draw. Here it is right here. You can see Anderson just getting possession there before the push.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
30 seconds.
So this is the Outlaws power play. A lot of new faces on this unit, still trying to get comfortable with one another. Love the outside threats. Somebody's got to be a presence inside to kind of condense the defense.
Denver's 1 for 2 on the power play so far today. They've yet to lead in this game.
Stay in this circle.
Look at a little exchange here.
To Hanley up top, here's Bundy. He can let it fly, and he does, but he misses the target.
That ball is humming. Big story with no Blaze Reardon. Can Austin Kaut stare down these shooters?
Ball was tipped as they tried to get it to Myers. 8 seconds on the power play. Zawada. Got it to Hanley inside. Now we're full strength. Zawada has to watch out. Gets rid of it just in time to Bundy. Wisnauskas tried the question mark.
And now you got to match up defensively after a penalty expires.
Yeah,
sometimes you can get some wonky matchups. There's an opportunity time for the
with
offense.
4 seconds, they're just going to kill this, but they had Hanley on a short stick before Wisnauskas elected to dodge up field. He was calling for it.
Just had a look at Blaze Reardon. He had 8 saves, only 3 against, for 72% before he was injured. Kaut's got the 3 saves, 5 against for 37%. He's the best goalie in the world, and now this game on the shoulders of the veteran backup, Austin Kaut.
Sergio. That is an unforced error right there as Jules couldn't handle the pass. Turnovers are just killing the Chaos today. Now 19 on the day. Tarafanko is going to punt return this one. Good look to Zawada, shoots, Kaut makes the save.
That was a big one. We were talking about staring down these shooters, Ryan, and I think for Kaut to make that save was huge.
Knobloch up top to McKay, doesn't get through.
Quick shots on both ends. Yeah, same thing, O'Neal on a short stick coming out of the box.
Up top, CJ! Heads up.
Hanley, he scores.
That's a deuce.
If you zoom out, O'Neal and Hanley on the same midfield line present some real problems.
Yes, it does.
Some real problems.
And what I love about this, Ryan, is again, they have him as the last guy coming out of the box.
And good change of pace. On the previous one, he goes down the alley and scores. This time he sweeps across. You get a little bit of help. Hanley shallow cuts behind the area where where O'Neal just dodged from. Beautiful throwback by O'Neal. That's the type of action in a 6-on-6 that's replicable.
Yes, and when he comes out of the box last, he is going to be at full speed, and at the very least, there's going to be a show from the defense, right? And he was really smart to kick that ball back.
Another 3-0 run, first lead of the day for Denver. Chaos have been completely out of sync offensively here in this second half. Here's Byrne looking to change all that. Gets a pick from Jackson, bounces it wide.
And that's the two-man game I was alluding to. You'd think you'd get a heavy dose of that.
Scott, he shoots and scores! We saw it from Minikis earlier, now we're seeing it from Scott Ross, the speed players.
Yeah, when you look at Ross Scott, his secret sauce is his feet. I'm not going to say he has Michael Sowers type quickness, but he's the quickest guy in the draft in terms of his change of direction and the way that he uses his feet. I think this will be eventually the new dimension to the Chaos, having that behind presence. When we've seen all their two-man game and the Canadians with the one-handed, right-hand, left-handed variation in the past, you rarely saw that behind the goal presence, Ryan.
Out of Westland, Oregon. Talk about growth of the game. You got him, you got Hanley. Two guys from Westland in the league in terms of Ross Scott and Dylan Squires.
In the next game,
Colin Squires, excuse me.
Next game, you'll have Ajax Zapatello, who's from Portland, number 3 pick in the draft for the Maryland Whips.
Chaos looking to build a little momentum now. Final seconds of this third quarter.
10 seconds.
Scott again. Hennenberg. Constabile's still on the field.
Oh, that's got to be something.
No, didn't get the call. Knobloch got knocked
That's
down.
going to be that was pretty vicious. That could be a major Charlie horse.
Yeah.
That's knee on knee.
Coach Towers wants a little bit of an explanation as to why Knobloch went down and didn't get a call.
Watch Messenger throw out his leg there.
That's a trip with possession. For sure. That should be a minute penalty. That unequivocally should be a minute penalty. Blatant trip.
Knobloch trying to walk it off. We head to the fourth. Chaos down a goal as Denver trying to start their 2024 campaign with a dub. We start the fourth quarter here, and we've got a good one. It hasn't always been pretty, but at 10-9 with the Outlaws on top, we're poised to have a fourth quarter that could go right down to the wire.
Yeah, Weirman's dominating faceoffs now, 13 of 20. Another big story is Denver's completely owning the Carolina Chaos in the shot department, 39-16.
And they're living Pacino on the field post faceoff win. I like that. You know, he played power play for Albany, Albany this past spring.
Myers, though, can't make anything happen in the shot clock. That 32 seconds goes by pretty quickly. And now Chaos, we made a big deal, and rightfully so, how Chaos would react when Blaze Reardon went out, right? And we thought, okay, Count's going to have to step up, but the offensive end is going to have to pick up the slack, and they have not done that. Maybe that'll help change up everything right there with Kyle Jackson.
This is a sick plant foot. Watch this plant foot, Ryan.
Incredible feet, incredible.
Incredible feet, incredible plant foot, incredible finish. That little fly by McKay. You know, Messenger probably expecting some sort of action. Jackson, clear quickness advantage over Messenger, uses that to create separation. But that two-man game on the left side was such a staple of what Chaos have done offensively. I understand there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of new bodies. Let's use our speed, but that action right there between Jackson, McKay, and Byrne, don't lose part of your identity. That worked.
Anderson shoots. Count makes the save.
And what I loved about that move is Messenger's a big body, and he gave him plenty of space in terms of the plant foot. He didn't drop the plant foot right into the body of Messenger, because then he would have been engaged and he would have been thrown off his line. He gave himself enough space, so when he dropped the plant foot, his hands were completely free.
Well, it was beautiful off-ball identification by McKay, just a flash to the crease, and Byrne to drift away.
Jules on Manley. Up top to Minikis. Back to his right, he's got a wide open look and just shoots it too high, man.
That is a look.
You've got to slide there if you're Outlaws.
It happened so fast.
12 to shoot.
Ready to go here defensively.
You can hear the barking from the sideline. AT saying, go Minnow. Got to go quickly. Behind the back shot and score.
No surprise to have the highlight of the game come via Josh Byrne, the human highlight.
This is what he does, and he does it as good, if not better, than any player in the world. Golden hands, exceptional awareness, late in a shot clock, jamming inside, feels that topside pressure, little BTB action.
I mean, Giles Harris is there. He just loses him for a half second. You can see the frustration afterwards with stick on his head. He knows, I can't relax for an instant on this guy or he'll make you pay, as he did just there.
You see the trends in this game. Carolina back on top after Denver had taken their first lead of the day. Weirman.
Hey, stay there. Stay there.
You see how smooth he is with his exits? Luke Weirman is an exceptional face-off guy.
Kark, and it's interesting to watch how dialed he is into the new cadence. You know, that set down real fast. You think a rookie may struggle with that. He's ready to go.
Hanley again from 2.
That scares me. If you're the Chaos, you need to press out on certain guys, and Hanley's one of them.
Got a loose ball in the field.
I just love the aggressiveness that Hanley's showing today.
Myers uses a pick. Now the double team. Messenger as the shot clock winds down again. Couldn't get a good look.
Yeah, Denver was subbing behind the play, so Chaos had an extra defender.
Perkovic puts his shoulder into Terefenko but loses the ball. Terefenko comes out of there with it.
They've got Byrne trapped on defense. Expect Bernhardt to try to get him in a two-man game.
And Knobloch also, 27.
Let's listen to Jack Rowlett. Nice save by Kaut.
That's the best save of the day, Quint, by Austin Kaut. Low and away.
He's made 6 saves on the day. Thought Newman might be able to fire one.
So smart by JT Giles Harris to press out and realize who was carrying that ball
Beat
towards
me to the
arc.
punch there, Quint. And if I'm Newman, I want to catch that 5 yards deep of the arc, not 2 or 3. So I could crow hop into it or have Giles Harris come out even further, which then vacates the crease.
So intelligent, JT, to see that and to step out. I mean, that's where games are won and lost right there.
JT's a coach at Jacksonville with John Galloway. I mean, he knows the defensive strategy and progressions.
Count stepping up here in the fourth quarter. Bundy with another save by Count.
Count's in a groove. He's in a groove. Quint, I've seen much different body language and step out of him.
Rowlett fires and scores! A save on a 2 on one end from Count. Rowlett, a Hyundai MPH on the other. 2 points on the board for Chaos.
That was a monster goal. Only 6 two-pointers out of the Carolina Chaos a year ago. They need that in transition in 2024. The Energizer Bunny of a coach, Andy Towers, knows. Jack Rowlett bringing the heat week 1 in Albany. He's a few steps away from the arc. You know what helped his brand? You know, we talk about athletes and branding at the pro ranks, right? The stick, the silhouette of the stick in his rib cage when he was hacked last year, that helps the brand.
No question.
The real-time tattoo.
That hits the pipe, the bouncer right off the face-off.
He was 100% aware of his inability to score goals as a pro. Pre-game, he told me, as he was shooting twos, he's like, man, I used to score a ton at Carolina. I haven't gotten lucky here as a pro.
Well, I think also as he's developed as a pro, you know, his importance and value down at close defense is over the year over
he's
year.
Their eraser.
Yes.
He's probably the best fit to match the feet of Michael Sowers of anyone in the league.
Top right, top side!
Bundy shoots too high.
Next goal in this game is super critical.
This 3-point lead matches the largest lead of the day for Chaos.
Squeeze it, Bo.
Ferrara. He's got magical memories of this field from last year. Anderson weaves to the defense, couldn't get it BTB though as the ball got knocked away. And a great outlet pass this time, getting it to Newman, who's always a danger to shoot himself. Chaos will settle in on the 6v6 offense. They'll wait for their substitutions. They've got the full 52 here to work with.
And that, back to that Outlaws possession, Quint said how important was the next goal. Like, that's where you need the alpha to step up, recognize that, and demand the ball. You set a pick, you get a switch, and you don't do anything with it. It's like, well, then why'd you even do it?
Well, they don't have that quarterback.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You set a pick.
Ouch, did you hear that?
Yes, Scanoni. That'll leave a mark.
That's a big loose ball.
Yes, because it's a reset.
Yep, resets to 32. So this defense is now going to have to play an extended possession for the Outlaws. Here's Jules. Working on the shorty from X. Oh, try to get it to Minicus inside, but it stays with Scott. He shoots and scores!
Did you hear Towers? Jordan Wolf all over again.
He turns to me. He said, I told you, that's Jordan Wolf all over again.
That's some high praise. Andy Towers is no stranger to high praise in terms of he's got every player is the best in their position, the best in their world.
Yes.
But, you know, they picked up Ross Scott in the draft for this exact reason. His ability to dodge from X, win his one-on-one matchup, and be able to go right or left-handed.
In the third round, and a lot like Jordan Wolf, shot out of a cannon, but Wolf had such strength around goal line extended. You see Scott here with the offhand, soaking the check. Quint, you got to ask him why he thinks he's the next Jordan Wolf.
Well, what stood out field level is he's running upfield and manages to shoot that with accuracy and velocity back towards the goal. Coach, why was that Jordan Wolf? the reincarnation.
What separated Jordan Wolf from the attackman of his generation is he was willing to get to the front of the net and get his head knocked off for one step of better angle. And you saw it right there with Ross Scott. We've been talking about it all week.
What's his nickname?
Ross Scott.
What's wrong with Roscoe?
It's the 2 first names, so you got to say the full name.
You keep scoring goals like that, that nickname might evolve. Couch snatches it out of the air.
And the good thing about this offense is you started seeing some of these pieces that we've heard about in camp, right? Like Scott's got the big 2 goals in the second half. Minikis is flying around the field. In a first half where you just didn't feel like there was flow, this last quarter, I feel like this offense is spacing itself better and moving off ball.
Taking care of the ball a little bit better. You mentioned Scott. He scored the first and the 6th goal of this 6-goal run.
Speed right here. Watch this.
Found Jules inside, just couldn't one time it. Ground ball here, though. Look like both teams had a really good shot at it. This is going to be a really good opportunity as Chaos had a point-blank shot from Minikis.
I don't get it, though. I thought Ty Kurtz was closer to the ball when it went out of bounds.
No, it was out. It was out before Kurtz even started running. I'm GLE. You see me on the far side. I had a beautiful angle. Believe it or not, Sean Scanoni was closer.
Thanks for raining on my parade.
It's a rare run out.
Of course he's going to give the benefit of the doubt to the goalie.
Yes. Guys, you have to remember, Ross Scott was picked in the 3rd round. And this is a position in the PLL, it's almost impossible to crack a lineup as a starting attackman, let alone a 3rd rounder.
I mean, you watch tape of him at Rutgers, Kark, and I saw him dust Ajax Zakpatello like the Schmeiser Award winner was standing still, yet he only scored 20 goals and had 24 assists. Okay, 44 points compared to guys like the Kavanaughs who had 88. What did you think during
Well, I
the
think
process?
Ross Scott was dealing with a different scenario than the Kavanaughs. He wasn't flanked by Jake Taylor and Eric Dobson and all these guys. He left the school bus and there was a monster X on his back. You stop Ross Scott and Shane Knobloch, you win the game. So just a totally different monster. Wow.
Speaking of a totally different monster, Sergio Perkovic. That's 2 on the day. He was 0 for shooting the ball last year. And when I say last year, I don't mean in a game last year, I mean the entire year. And now he's got 2 on the day.
The Motor City Hitman, the sequel.
He's got 14 career 2-pointers. You know, he brings the stretch shooting to this offense. Just a simple little push-ahead pass by Jackson. Nothing crazy here. Jackson going to his weak side, his offside. A little bit of help there. Just Perkovic says, why not?
I love how he used the turf. And this is a great story, too. He's a veteran in the league. But you got to realize, after only suiting up 6 times last year, this was his last opportunity,
yes,
I feel, to play in this league. And he is capturing the moment.
He got served a slice of humble pie, got challenged in training camp by Andy Towers, and he has responded today.
Coach Sudan wants to talk things over as this game's gotten away from him here in the final 2 minutes. Carolina 5 for 9 shooting with 7 points in this 4th quarter.
It's crazy. A flip of the script, right? They were horrible shooting the ball prior to that.
They've taken care of the
getting
ball as
the
well
opportunities.
with the turnovers.
Their shooting percentage was actually good throughout the course of the game, but they weren't getting the volume of shots.
Let's hear what Sudan's drawing up here.
Wiz in here. All right, this is what we're going to do. Get the ball over to him. We're going to set a pick for him coming over, and then we're going to back pick. We're going to back pick O'Neal's guy. He's going to back over it, and then you're just going to let her fly. Got it? Let's go. You guys understand the timing here? Yeah. Okay. So Bundy, this is yeah, this has got to be nice and wide. So you're going to be way out here by the numbers, okay? Everybody got it? Hanley, you got this? Yeah, okay, you good? All right, let's go. So we got 4 guys over the top. Here we go. Let's score one here. We'll chip away. We got one more timeout. Hot on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So you're looking at some on-ball picks and some off-ball picks I would imagine, around the arc to try to get a two-pointer on net to kind of make this a 4-goal margin.
Yep. Bad news. Outlaws last year, last in the league in two-pointers. Good news, you now have Graham Bundy Jr. You now have Brennan O'Neill, and it looks like Sam Hanley's playing with a different sense of urgency.
What's key to defending the two here, Coach? Defending the two.
We gotta get through picks. We gotta get through picks and blow it up. Watch this. We're gonna switch everything. We'll take ones all day long right now.
Q talking to Jamie Hanford, assistant coach on this Chaos squad.
Outside.
Hits the outside of the cage. As Hanley couldn't quite get the angle.
You know, as we spin forward, the injury in this next week with Blaze Reardon will be huge. Can he play next week?
They got two next week.
Carolina.
They play twice. They play twice.
The big question. They'll be the homecoming team down in Charlotte, Carolina Chaos, with or without the goaltender of the year. But the good news is, I thought Austin Kaut in this fourth quarter, Quint, played exceptionally well.
He did. I thought he started strong, maybe had a little bit of a lull where he wasn't ready for that one shot. It looked like it was going to spiral out of control, but he's finished great.
Chaos content to just run clock. Got 10 minutes to shoot. They may just dump this in the corner. And that's exactly what Jules Henningberg will do. No, he's going to find Kurtz in front, but Scanoni robs him. I thought that was going to be a dump in the corner and set it up. Kurtz had a look, but Scanoni shut the door.
Count with the 4 saves in the fourth quarter. Outlaws blanked. Until now.
Count was unhappy with that goal.
So let's look at some positives here coming out if you're a Denver fan, right? You're last in the league offensively last year at 8 goals. So just in terms of net positive, you're sitting at 11. Wisnauskas with his third of the day. We saw some flashes from Hanley in the midfield. He had a 2-pointer. O'Neill liked some of the action you saw there. Can you play Wisnauskas and O'Neill together? Can you play them on the same attack line?
I liked O'Neill from midfield coming out of the box last with a head of steam.
So you know when you got Wisnauskas, it's figuring out the other 2 pieces of that attack puzzle, because you didn't get much out of Myers, Zawada, and Ferrara today, those 3 righties.
And the big question I thought from last year was, after Brendan Nichtern had a fantastic rookie year, his void a season ago was glaring in terms of their X-behind presence, and it still looks like they have questions there.
For Ryan Boyle, Paul Carcaterra, Quint Kessenich, and our entire crew, I'm Chris Cotter. Carolina celebrates the win. We'll be back in 30 minutes. Thanks for watching the PLL on ESPN.